Welcome to the arena of the verbal warfare. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the debater. Social media networking does reduce interpersonal interactions. We have with us our proposition today, St. Mary's Convent, Mathura. Representing the proposition, we have Mariam Zahir, Kavina Serasinghe, G.H. Sadima, and Yuvini Ama Mapalagam. Social media networking does not reduce interpersonal interaction. Our opposition today, St. Lawrence's Convent, Colombo. Representing the opposition, we have Julia Nugara, Rose Fernando, Saran Pereira, and Marina Akrugoda. We're also pleased to have with us an excellent and competent panel of judges. We have with us Dr. Morgan Mace. He was the winner of the prestigious Warhol Foundation Award. His works have appeared on the Harper's Magazine, the Virginia Quarterly Review, The Believer, and The Smart Set. Dr. Anil Sambaranayake. He received his bachelor's degree, his MSc and MD from the Faculty of Medicine of the University of Colombo. He is a consultant community physician and is also the director of the Medical Research Institute of Sri Lanka. Anuradha Herat. She is the director of the Sri Lanka School of Journalism, having graduated from the University of Columbia School of Journalism. We will start off the debater with the opening statements. Here, the proposition and the opposition will present their first stance. Ladies and gentlemen, proposition will now take the floor.
Honorable panel of judges and my dear members of the opposing team. Social media networking does reduce interpersonal interactions. First of all, let me explain you what is social media networking. Social media includes web-based and mobile technologies used to turn communication into dialogues between communities, organizations, and individuals. The most important phrase of this debate is interpersonal interactions. Interpersonal indicates caring, sharing, loving, comforting, and being with the ones according to one's will. Interact or interaction means having effect upon each other. By sticking into a machinized idea, the real meaning of this phrase cannot be emphasized. When talking about the smallest unit of the society, the family, in which that bonds are heavily respected and take the moral message of interpersonal interaction to the society. Just take housewives today. Most of them, those who are not involving in work, now they are already connected with the so-called social media networking, and as a result of that, the poor innocent children are being neglected by their parents. And my dear friends, not only that, when considering about the younger generation and the future generation of the whole wide world, the children, most of them spend their whole days with TVs, computers, and internet. My dear friends, can these children gain affection and advices through this so-called social media networking? And do these children have time to have family bonds with their family members? No, my dear friends. And my dear worthy friends, please realize the gospel truth of these interpersonal interactions. Interpersonal is not something looking at somebody and talking to that particular person. There's something more than that, and I would like to thoroughly emphasize interpersonal interactions are highly being attached with our feelings, and it is a huge and a massive deal with our feelings. And it's vividly clear that social media networking does reduce interpersonal interactions. Thank you.
Chief Seattle said, "Humankind has not woven the web of life, but we are rather a thread of it. Everything is united. Everything is connected." A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We as the opposition stand here to voice our belief that social media networking does not reduce interpersonal interactions. Man is a social being. His quest for interaction and communication with his fellow beings knows no bounds, no religion, no culture, and to fulfill these instincts, thus social media was born. Ladies and gentlemen, social media is the offspring of the information age. Defining social media, it is the tools, or rather the online environment, that is used to make communication among people throughout the internet much more easier. Interpersonal interaction, one of the key elements of focus for today's debate, could be defined as the verbal and non-verbal communication among individuals as well as groups. Hugh Flauch, the creator of Network Neighborhood, according to a study in 2010 conducted on the social impact of online communities, stated that 42% of these people say that they have met someone in their neighborhood as a result of online communities, while, ladies and gentlemen, 69% of them state that their participation in social networks have increased and strengthened their sense of belonging. So thus, through this context, it's quite visible to us that social media is a platform, a powerful platform for interpersonal interaction. Furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, social media provides a voice, grants a voice to nations which lack democracy and the freedom of speech. The Arab Spring, the Arab Awakening stands proof for this. Further, in the late 1970s, when the personal computers became more popular, people believed that social media would replace face-to-face communication. However, ladies and gentlemen, with the current situation of social media, it's quite visible that this is not the case and these could not be merited. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, these will be further proved to you by the other voices raised by the opposition, through which we thoroughly believe that social media networking does not reduce interpersonal interaction. Thank you.
Honorable panel of judges and my dear valued friends, interpersonal interaction is something really very greater than waving at a social media screen and bounding people to a room and making a couch potato. In the past years, the master or the head of the company visited to check up his employees' work. He pointed out the employees' faults and appreciated the good. The workers could meet their head and discuss any matter. Such was the professional sector in the past. See how much they were linked closely to each other, even to share their own matters. Dear valued friends, that's what indeed interpersonal interaction is and must be for humans with human feelings. Isn't it, dear friends? What's really sad to say is the outstanding usage of internet by workers neglecting their worthy work during official hours. Worthy friends, aren't they real delinquencies? Without a second thought, this dematerializing destructs the interpersonal interaction among officers. The best historical evidence for real interpersonal interaction between two unseen friends is the bond between Sri Lankan King Devanampiyatissa and Indian King Ashoka, which enhances the truth that this deleterious social media networking isn't at all an assistant for any interpersonal interaction. Moreover, since the beginning of the humankind, entertainment was a pleasurable aspect to humans. Even aborigines entertained themselves in groups. But today, rather than entertaining in groups, people have preferably chosen to be isolated with a TV or an internet entertainment. Spontaneously, people are isolated in their own world. Think, people would never go to a movie, a musical show or a cinema alone. They would go in groups together, which encourages their interpersonal interaction. Dear valued friends, realize that such entertainment waste builds up, improves, enhances and encourages interpersonal interaction, where so-called social media networking system totally destructs this interaction. Thus, I thoroughly rely on the certitude that social media networking certainly does reduce interpersonal interaction.
As the next voice of the opposition team, I would like to further prove that social media network does not reduce interpersonal interaction. As our first speaker said, social media networking means website and other applications that are used for social interaction and personal relationships. You all mentioned about TV, but I would like to tell you all that TV are mass media, not social media. Furthermore, theorists believe that social media replaces face-to-face interaction, which is proven wrong, because whether it is face-to-face interaction or social media, it is for the same fundamental purpose of satisfying physical and social needs. For an instance, ladies and gentlemen, Kony 2012, an awareness program that is carried out through these social media networks
to discard the terrorism activities in Uganda by Joseph Kony. Social media plays an important and an essential role in this society. For an example, Twitter. Twitter was so important to Iranians after their presidential election that a daily scheduled network was rescheduled. The original purpose or the priority of this social media network, as we said earlier, is to get connected with new people and to reconnect with the old one. Social media has improved the status of interpersonal interaction by excelling in fields such as entertaining, marketing, research and science, and learning, etc. Today, students are not limited to textbook knowledge. These social media networks have provided them online tutorials and other educational tools for this purpose, which increase the interaction between the student and the teacher. And they mentioned about most of the things about TV and business transaction. Today, business transactions are done and business conferences are done through applications such as Skype and other networks. Hence, ladies and gentlemen, it's quite clear that social media network does not reduce interpersonal interaction. Thank you.
We're ready to move into a commercial break. The face-off round will commence afterwards.